all the money in the world if I got a pretty mommy like you.
Hey guys, Jen Matthews, Chief Salsa Mommy here from Salsa Babies. Okay, in today's episode of Jen's Bubble, I want to chat with you about being confident to advocate for your children. So, my son is almost 6, and from the time he was 3 months old, we can see in pictures that he had what doctors have always called eczema. So, you know, the red cheeks, it exploded into dry skin patches, red, itching, picking, bleeding, typical eczema, only way worse. He has seen at least 2 different pediatric allergists, at least 2 different pediatric dermatologists. He's seen our family doctor. He's seen all kinds of health practitioners. He's been seeing the same pediatric dermatologist now for probably the last 4 years. I think we started taking him when he was just over 2 to this pediatric dermatologist who works hand in hand with the Children's Hospital. So very highly, a very high reputation in the community, I would say. Throughout this whole time that he's had eczema, he has been prescribed what? Steroids, of course. You know, if you had a child who has eczema, steroids. Steroids and steroids and steroids. In fact, there was a time when he had a steroid for his head, he had a steroid for his face and his groin, and then he had a steroid for his arms and his legs, and he had separate steroids because his hands and his feet have always been the worst. He will get cracks in the wintertime where it's almost down to his bone. Okay, so that's what we're talking about. Serious. His pediatric dermatologist has said it's probably one of the worst cases of eczema he has ever seen. Okay, so this year, the pediatric dermatologist has now decided that he wants to put him on stronger medications. He wants to put him on immune system suppressing medications. So we have always tried to go the natural route where possible with medicine. And I'm not talking about strep throat, not going on antibiotics, or, you know, severe life-threatening diseases, avoiding antibiotics. No, I'm talking about there's a place and a time for those, but then the majority of things in life can be okay and be treated with a longer, more natural approach. And that's really what natural medicine is to me, is that it will treat the problem. It's just not going to treat it as quickly as medicine. But medicine is also not, in my opinion, good for the body to be used all the time. Same with the steroids. So we had said to the pediatric dermatologist, I'm not comfortable putting him on immune system reducing therapy because he gets sick so much anyways with this eczema. What happens when his immune system is suppressed? I can picture worst case scenario. And really, he's 5. Does he need to be on these medications? Like, let's be clear here. It's eczema. We deal with this every single day. So we ensure that it doesn't get infected. Do we really need to take this step? And I have always said to him, why are we not looking at what's causing the eczema? And that's my biggest problem with the medical system right now, is that we treat what we see. We don't treat what's causing the problem. He's had eczema for 5 years almost. Why are we not fixing what's causing it? Because steroids are not working. Steroids suppress it for a couple days and then come back, and suppress it and come back. There's a problem. Why are we not figuring out what the problem is? So we said no to the immune system therapy drugs, to be greeted with, well, if you don't want to follow my advice, why are you coming to see me? That in itself explains the attitude of the majority, in my opinion, of medical system professionals right now. They don't want to look at what's outside of their scope, and that's okay that you don't want to learn it, but don't dismiss it. We have since gone to alternative testing for my son and alternative treatments, which actually there really hasn't been treatments now that we figured out what the problem is. So we have done a lot of different testing for him to figure out what the cause of his eczema is. Long story short, without getting into what all the testing is it was found to be that he is intolerant to potatoes. For those who don't believe in the intolerance testing, that's fine in your world. Love and respect no matter what. Listen, we took my son off of potatoes, and within 6 weeks, his eczema is gone. He has never not had eczema, short of when we put cortisone on his skin. His eczema is gone. He has no red patches behind his knees anymore. He has no red patches here. Behind his ears are clear. On his eyes, where he gets it really badly, all clear. There's a time and a place for both. What I have a problem with is the medical community discounting the need for natural medicine. Educated people can look at the situation. They can have self-awareness to know, and this is not like, oh, placebo pill, I know that it's working. This is, I can physically see changes in my body with this natural medicine treatment or, testing, that kind of stuff. I encourage you, if you are curious, to do some research, talk to professionals. Medicine, I hope, eventually clues in that natural medicine 100% has a place. I believe medicine is threatened. I believe there's a lot of money at stake with medicine, and that's why medicine wants no part of natural medicine and the benefits that it offers. There's a lot less money in medications when you find out what the root cause of certain conditions are, and you can avoid it, right? Because then you don't need medications. The person feels healthier. They don't need to go to the doctor as much. They don't need to keep refilling that prescription. Money's gone. My opinion, I think those of you who are on the natural medicine spectrum at any point, whether you're just learning about it, whether you're fully head on into it, I think we really need to do a better job of supporting our natural medicine practitioners and stop letting standard medicine dictate what we are and are not allowed to do with our families. This is not life-threatening. Our children's lives are not at stake when we choose to pursue natural medicine. It is an alternative to pumping our kids full of medicines that they don't need. Instead, we can find what's causing the issue and treat it naturally, or take out things that are causing it into their lives. This is not a radical diet. This is figuring out what each individual's person's body needs or doesn't need. And if it's causing a reaction in the body, get rid of it. That is not a standard practice. And I think that's why it doesn't work with medicine, right? Because when you go to the doctor with strep throat, they swab everybody the same, they do the same test, boxes are checked. Yep, with natural medicine, that's not the same. How my body reacts to potato or whatever is very different from how your body will react and how my neighbor's body will react, etc., etc., etc. Our DNA affects all of that kind of stuff. That's why natural medicine is interesting, because it really looks at the root cause of you. Thanks, guys. I hope you understand this is my opinion in this episode. I wanted to share with you my son's experience, really so that you understand why I'm passionate about it and why I have a hard time with the flip side of it, because I've lived through all of this. My son is almost 6. We've done this every single day since he was 3 months. This is what we live every single day, okay? So this is my life. This is why I'm passionate about it. And when I find that something is working, I need to share that. It doesn't make me an expert on it, but it makes me an expert on my son. Have a great day, guys.